My name's Phil. Welcome back to another episode of Vermont's 100 Covered Bridges. Today I'm at the Sanborn Bridge, which is in Lyndon. So I begin this video a little differently than how I normally begin my videos, you know, walking out of the bridge and introducing it. I'm stood in the middle of the Passumpsic River. Now, if I was stood on this spot just over a year ago and I did that with the camera, you wouldn't see the beautiful blue sky above me. You'd have seen the Sanborn covered bridge. If I turn to one side, you can see the abutment, or what was the abutment of the Sanborn Bridge, and behind me is the other abutment. So obviously there's a story to tell here, and I'm going to bring it to you. And just an overview shot of the two abutments of the Passumpsic River. So the bridge was built in 1869 and was known as the Lyndonville Bridge because of where it was situated, also known as the Centre Bridge because it was in the centre of Lyndonville. In 1960, the bridge was moved to this site here because it was going to be pulled down and replaced as a bigger and stronger bridge was needed. A local landowner, whose name was Benjamin Sanborn, had the bridge placed just south of where it used to stand and across the river there, where I've just dipped my toes in. Even though the bridge was privately owned, Benjamin Sanborn permitted pedestrians to use the bridge. So where's the bridge? I keep hearing you ask. Get on with it, Phil. Where's the bridge? Well, the bridge suffered from severe flooding. We've had a lot of floods over the past few years in this part of Vermont. However, over time it got into more and more disrepair. I'm just going to read to you some of the faults that the bridge had. There was a pronounced sag, which happened to be where a cross brace is broken. The bottom cord broke, triggering the failure in the top cord above it. A volunteer effort was put into place to stabilise the bridge by creating an island of stone in the stream bed upon which cribbing and hydraulic jacks were placed. The bridge was jacked up at the break in the truss to keep it from falling further. However, the permits that allowed the island to be built also stipulated that it had to be removed by the winter. Subsequently, emergency repairs were performed on timbers that had failed, and the cribbing was removed from the river. Even more bizarrely, there was a sort of a shed was built into the bridge at one point, and people were using it as storage and all sorts of things, and then homeless people were coming in and sleeping in it as well. Although it's hard to criticise Benjamin Sanborn for saving the bridge, far from it, but at the same time it was privately owned and he didn't have sufficient funds or the willingness to maintain the bridge. And because it's privately owned, it doesn't qualify for state or federal funding. So to correct myself here, as I discovered that the town of Lyndon actually did purchase the bridge from the owners in 2022 for $10,000, and now making the bridge available to attract funds from local and national resources. A few months after the purchase, the Lyndon Select Board met to review plans for a 2-acre recreational park on the western side of the bridge at a cost of around $2 million. So I hear you keep saying, Phil, shut up. Get on with it. Tell us, where's the bridge? Stop keeping us in suspense. So the bridge was going to have to be repaired because they felt that one more big storm would take the bridge with it.
Covered bridges are a staple in Vermont, but they're becoming harder to maintain, getting worn down by the elements or damaged over time. Channel 3's Melissa Cooney joins us live. Melissa, what are towns doing to preserve these historic structures?
Now, as we said, this is one of 100 bridges in the state that's still intact. And right now, town leaders in different parts of the state are doing what they can to make sure that these bridges are preserved. I checked out Lyndon, which is the covered bridge capital of the Northeast Kingdom. In the center of Lyndon, above the Passumpsic River, sits the Sanborn Bridge. It's 153 years old, and Lyndon town officials say it's showing its age.
If we got flooded this upcoming spring in 2023, you might see this bridge go away. It's really that pressing.
Grattan says it almost fell into the river in 2013, but a national organization provided funding to fix it. But it still wasn't enough repair to sustain the test of time.
And because it sits so low to the river, some of the, it's like a technical term, these little things in the bottom that actually lift the bridge up have broken off. And so that's a big part of it. We also just see deterioration. It's 153 years old.
Restoring the bridge would cost town leaders $1.5 million.
And they had a date set to basically fix the abutments, but a storm came in between that, and the bridge was in such a perilous state that it was decided there and then that the bridge should be moved from being over the Passumpsic River and just left in this field here. So the bridge had paddlefoot truss, so clearly I can't show you that, but I can show you a diagram here of what a paddlefoot truss looks like. Peter Paddleford from New Hampshire was a prominent bridge builder. Now, he took the patented 1830 long truss for his bridges, but soon developed his own design with long counter braces extending over more than one panel, which helped distribute loads and increase the truss's rigidity. The Paddleford design was never patented, most likely because it was so close to the long truss that he probably left himself open to be sued. But it certainly is a unique design, and there only are 3 remaining in the state of Vermont, and only 1 you can cross in a vehicle. So the bridge has been here since, I think it was August or September 2024, and well, I always like to go under the bridge, but I'm not going to go far under this one because I'm not having this coming down on me. I'll turn the camera around and you can see underneath it. So this is the truss, sideways on. So everything is here. The problem is, how long is it going to remain here? It still remains one of Vermont's 100 covered bridges. So there's always hope that somewhere, somehow, this bridge can get back over the Passumpsic River. Just going to take a walk around. I can see the sign is still here. Let me just get back. Yeah, you can see it behind me there. I'd rather see it in this state than not being able to see it at all, because it's just been taken down and destroyed. So again, we can all live in hope that the Sanborn Bridge will rise again. Again, under the bridge at the side with the truss laying sideways. Sad, as I've already said, but what can we do? What I'm about to show you now is 2 videos that people had posted up on YouTube. The first one is obviously taken a few years back, that somebody else filmed, and I've given them a credit here, so we can follow them, so we can see what it looked like when it was standing over the river. So here in this video taken from the covered bridges of Lyndon, which you can find on YouTube, we can take a walk down the bridge. You can see in front of you is that shed that's used for storage, but people ended up sleeping in there. And clearly the bridge has been used for storaging of all sorts. I mean, some of it looks official, like the town have stored things. And we got a shot of the roof. And there's the Paddleford Trust in all its glory. And another unique fact about this bridge, it's one of the handful that had the side walkway, so foot passengers could avoid any traffic going down. And then this film, which was timely taken from a local resident who actually filmed the bridge being dismantled, taken from the river and placed here in sections, would you believe? It's amazing that they've actually put it back. I'd have thought it would still be in sections on the field. That was my impression when I was driving here. But to see the roof all in one piece was a pleasant surprise. And this video you can watch all in full, my live by the Sanborn Bridge on YouTube. I think the gentleman that shot it did a series called My Life by the River, and he's called it My Live because he was filming it live. Here we can see clearly and it's speeded up here, the roof being lifted off in the sections and placed down in the field where you've seen it. I just was amazed that they actually put it back together in one full piece. And the final section of the roof hits takeoff. This was all done in one day, and the second day, which we're about to see, is where they took the sides and the floor off. Now, that gentleman underneath the bridge, apparently the people removing the bridge had a drone, and the drone hit the water. I'm not sure if he thought it may have sank, but most drones are very light, and it's probably 200 yards further down the river by now. So I don't know if he found it or not. But yeah, as you can see, there's not much left. And here's one of the sides about to go up. A couple of planks there falling off between the two sides as the first one finally takes off. Such a delicate project to undertake, but clearly the construction company knew exactly what they were doing, and they're going to turn it sideways and then lay it down flat. Just as it was when I was underneath it. Here we go, laying it down. And the final side is all that is left to be moved. And the river does no longer have the Sanborn Bridge above it. And here, it's not far from where I was stood at the beginning of the video, introducing it, when I was stood in the river between the two abutments. Here's a shot from the other portal. No sign on this one. Again though, you can see how the eaves would have extended way over the side of the bridge. A wonderful sculpture of a bald eagle watching over the Sanborn Bridge. So we're looking at the Papumpsic River, which is 22.7 miles long. Now, the river formed a very short distance upstream from where I'm stood now, and is where the east branch met the west branch of the Papumpsic River. Now, the river flows into the Connecticut River in Barnet. The Papumpsic River takes its name from the Abenaki Native American language, meaning the clear running water. If you want to see the site yourself, it's at the junction of routes 5 and 114. Once again, thanks for joining me in this episode of Vermont's 100 covered bridges. Not sure really how to end this. It's maybe just join the Vermont Covered Bridge Society. Your $15 won't save the bridge financially, but it can support the society to campaign and lobby those people that have money that maybe can save the bridge. Here I am once again in my local bridge in Brattleboro with a bit of an update. I filmed this episode at the Sanborn Bridge, I think it was the 2nd of October. Well, early in November, the town of Lyndon Development Review Board met with speeding up plans for getting the Sanborn Bridge back over the Papumpsic River. So the thumbs up was given, and hopefully things can start moving as early as spring. Nothing was 100% decided. There's a couple of sticking points, mainly that the town still want to go ahead with the development of the whole waterside front, whereas the majority of the funders providing the money are more interested in the historical aspect of the bridge. So there's got to be a bit of negotiation on that one, and it could be that there's plans, certainly the plans that the town want, may be scaled down. But the good thing is, it looks like there is going to be life back in the Sanborn Bridge as early as New Year, which is good news, good seasonal news. And the lights aren't on because it's daytime, but this is Christmas Day, if you're watching it on the day that this episode comes out. So I hope wherever you are in the world, if you celebrate Christmas, you've had a good day, and I wish you all the best, and I'll see you next Sunday in another episode of Vermont's 100 Covered Bridges.